The Healthy Hunger-Free Kids Act of 2010 today, which aims to curb childhood obesity by making school lunches healthier. It sounds like they have good intentions, but it's a bill that costs $4.5 billion and empowers the federal government to decide who gets free food and who doesn't. Plus, they even decide what the kids can eat and what they can't eat. First Lady Michelle Obama said it's government's responsibility. Listen to this.
Many kids get up to half their daily calories from school meals. It's clear that we as a nation have a responsibility to meet as well. We can't just leave it up to the parents.
We can't just leave food up to the parents? Here to discuss again are my freedom fighters, Cassoni, Henican, and Powell. Ellis, Henican, is it any business of the government to tell parents and teachers and administrators what the kids should eat for lunch?
Well, yeah. You make good intentions sound like a bad thing.
Well, they can't deliver the mail. How are they going to decide to tell people what to eat?
Let me tell you why. I'm not trying to push the parents out of the equation. But listen, you're going to pay for, and I'm going to pay for, all those little chubby kids today because they're the heart attacks of tomorrow, and it's going to be costing all of us in lost time.
All right, Professor Powell, you see what happens when the government takes over health care. Then they think they can tell us what to eat. Will this madness end?
This is the food and drink police run amok. The government has no business dictating what's going to be in the vending machines in schools. And if the heart attacks come early, it probably saves you money in Social Security and long-term Medicare.
Ouch.
So I think the fiscal argument is bogus anyway.
I think he's making the fiscal argument to show that government shouldn't be using money as a basis for intruding into a decision between children and their parents.
Oh, Judge, what's $4.5 billion here and there? We've already spent nearly $1 trillion on the tax negotiation. I mean, come on. Look, I mean, honestly, I do think that there is argument to be made that future health care costs can be contained or at least limited in some way, shape, or form if you do deal with childhood obesity, which, let's be honest, is on the rise.
But if the government, Professor Powell, can tell my children what to eat, someday it's going to want to tell me what to eat, especially if they're paying my health care bills.
They already do this. And aren't we a wealthy society when we're worried about childhood obesity as opposed to childhood starvation? This is a good problem to have. But ultimately, the thing really isn't about fiscal cost on this. It's about the principle of the government dictating the calorie choices and the menu choices to the students and their parents. That's what's wrong here. The government shouldn't be in the business of providing meals. That's the slippery slope. Once the government's providing the meals in the school, by necessity, you judge fatty or healthy, Italian or Chinese. They have to make menu choices.
But
it politicizes them.
Doesn't it offend you and your liberal sensibilities that the government would be making choices like this for people rather than letting them choose for themselves? Where in the Constitution can the federal government tell kids what to eat?
Nobody is talking about handcuffs in front of McDonald's. And Judge, I want to say this very sensitively, but you and I ought to be careful about what we eat going forward, shouldn't we?
But we should make those choices on our own, not because the federal government is forcing us.
Judge, I absolutely disagree. I think, look, you're going to have certain choices given to children at school. This is government run. School is a government enterprise. And look, if you can give them healthy choices, the government actually has a positive way to be involved in our lives. One of the few ways that government has a positive
where would you stop?
involvement with
Suppose
us.
the government wants to control what adults choose to eat themselves in their own houses. Would you let the government do that?
No, because a lot.
Why not?
Well,
Up to a point.
Because up to a point. Because look, I mean, adults can make their own decisions, but these are choices being given to our children.
Government tell you what to eat.
Judge, we stop restaurants from serving rat poison. That's a good point. There's some stuff that is so bad for us that you shouldn't be selling it in this country.
Restaurants don't maximize profits by selling rat poison.
Right.
This
They
is the
maximize
fundamental
profits by
difference here.
selling food that people want to eat.
And Benjamin, we have laws in this country. Whatever a restaurant wants to serve, you know what? There's some stuff we don't let you serve because of health concerns.
Okay, so the same government that can't do anything right, that bankrupts Social Security and Amtrak and Medicare and Medicaid and the post office, can tell us what to eat.
Like all tough decisions, we have to have reasonable minds work this out. But you can't be an absolutist about it.
Why would you let the government tell your kids what to eat but not let them tell you what to eat?
At least give them healthy choices. I mean, yes, there is parental responsibility to teach your children how to eat healthy, but the schools have a lot of power here. Taxpayers are paying for this, and I go back to the fiscal argument. Healthier children grow up to be healthier adults.
Professor
all of us
Powell,
benefit.
I think this is the most dangerous and slippery slope of them all, and if you open the door for the government to let tell children what to eat, they will soon be monitoring everything we do in our private moments.
Whether children are eating ho-hos or hummus is a choice that their parents and they should be making, not the government making it for them by taking it off the menu. Instead, private providers should offer menu choices that parents and students like, and that is in their best
Then
interest,
give them a
not
school
having choices
lunch.
taken
Then
away.
give them a school lunch.
This is the same government that once considered ketchup to be a
And
vegetable.
let's serve crack in high school. What do you say? They may like it. They may
what?
like
Can we
it.
discuss aspartame and Diet
all
Coke?
right.
I mean, come on.
Cassoni, Henican, Powell, thank you very much for joining us. More on this when it comes up again.